How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be talking about specific items that are often left out of your emergency kits, your bug out bags, your get home bags, things that are extremely important, but most people don't think about them because they haven't been placed in situations or scenarios that have made them think to bring some of these things. So of course you may have some of these things, and that is outstanding, but it's just kind of a reality check. Hey, do you have certain things in your bag for those weird things or opportunities or circumstances that you've never been a part of? So the first thing is kind of common sense based, but it is a bug net. I see these left out of bags actually a lot. And for folks that don't do camping or hiking a lot, it is typically underestimated or not really looked at or put in here. Most folks are used to their environment in their home, and they don't really worry about mosquitoes and stuff like that too much. But when you're out in the middle of nowhere, or you're hiking, or wherever it be, having something to drape over your body, like one of these mesh, mosquito nets, is a game changer and a lifesaver, especially in the springtime and the summertime. Winter, obviously not so much. Now, you can't really do this while traveling. It's kind of annoying. It's like placing the whole thing over top of you. So another good one is just a simple head net. Head nets, in my opinion, are game changers when it comes to bugs, especially if you pair it with the boonie cap, because it gives you some standoff, so this net isn't like up against your face and you're getting stung or whatever it is, or bitten. It kind of gives some standoff. So I would highly recommend. These are two lightweight options that are extremely cheap, that can be a lifesaver in the middle of the night. Because if you're not getting good sleep at all, you are not going to be putting down those miles in an emergency situation. That, time and distance are the main priority. And if you're tired, it's not going to work out too well. Next, another thing is foot care. I see a lot of folks don't put foot care based stuff. This is a MyMedic blister and chafing kit. They make larger kits. This is a real tiny one. I have a larger one in here as well. This is kind of like the EDC version, very small. But this is meant to protect your feet or assist your feet, because most people are not used to walking, 20, 30 miles a day, and you may have to do that if you are using an emergency kit, right? This may be just a reality for the first couple days. And if your feet get beat up or destroyed or are hurting, that is almost game over for you, because you have to be able to move. We're assuming vehicles are not working, right? Worst case scenario, hey, if a vehicle is working, perfect. Get in the vehicle, go, gas up. But more than likely, there's gonna be a run on gasoline and you may have to walk. So have a simple provision like this to keep your feet going. Wrap some tape up, help out those blisters, continue on your way. Necessity, movement or death is pretty much what it is. All right, so next is a thing that I do not see very often: documentation. Here's a passport, photos, my military orders or special documents that can prove who you are and who your kids are. Because maybe if you guys get separated and then you find your kids, but you don't have any ID or anything on you, it's not like local authorities are just gonna be like, here, take these kids. You're claiming that they're yours, you can have them. Highly doubtful. Having family photos of you and them or your entire family, maybe you can leave on a billboard, or you can put stickies on and say, hey, I'm looking for this person, holding a picture of, have you seen these people, right? We're talking cataclysmic situation, even regional situation like Katrina. People were separated and they were looking for each other, and a lot of those folks didn't have photos at all. Yes, you have a cell phone, but again, photos are physical, tangible items that you can hand out or show, and it gives you proof that these are my kids in that regard. So for the family members, for that, putting documentation in something Ziploc like this, double bagging it, passport, stuff like that, even old expired IDs that are no longer valid, put those in here, because it shows, hey, at one point in time when this was valid, this was you. But granted, it's expired, but I don't have anything else on me, so this is the next best thing. hold on to those IDs, keep them in here, and Ziploc bag them up. Next, funny enough, is a candle. Now this is a pretty large candle, but this has been a game changer ever since in Boy Scouts. I learned from many folks is light the candle and then you can light your fire, because so many people light all the time. They're trying to light a fire in maybe a wet or a damp situation, or it's just so difficult. You're using all your lighter fluid or whatever it is, consistently just using it all up, trying to thaw or, you know, not thaw out, but if it's cold, yes, but trying to light that fire. This 4 or 8 hour candle, I forget what this one is, you can just light it, and if you need to take 15 minutes for a flame to start, who cares? It's a candle, it's gonna work. It's not gonna burn up, you know, all your lighter fluid on you if you're carrying a lighter, whether it be a Zippo or Bic lighter or whatever it may be. This is a game changer in starting fires. Now you can get smaller ones and stuff. This is a survival one, I guess, like an 8 or a 4 hour candle, I forget. But these are really nice to have. I just have a single candle in here. Plus you can warm up with this in the middle of the night or something like that when it's super cold out. You know, one candle, you would believe the amount of heat, especially if you take like a poncho liner or something like this, or a poncho, drape it over top of you. You can just sit behind a tree, put this at the base of your feet, and you can feel that heat radiating up. Yes, it'll be very uncomfortable when it's cold, but you will survive with this. Also, this is really good for, you know, visual aspect if you're potentially being hunted or people are using thermal or night vision trying to find you. You know, you don't want to start a fire, but one single candlelight can just heat up your fingers enough just so you get dexterity back if it's cold outside. So many uses for a single candle. I highly recommend it. Next, this is kind of an odd item. I'm going to kind of add 2 here, is cooking oil. Cooking oil and honey. Cooking oil, of course, can be used for many different reasons in your kit. You can use this as what AT hikers or long distance hikers call as a bump or a calorie bump. You can put this in or on food, and pretty much per the calories, you know, cooking oil or just vegetable oil or in general, like olive oil, is extremely dense in calories. So if you have kind of a minimal meal, but you want to bump up your calories, you can pour a portion of this in to kind of bump up your calories. Now, of course, you can use a little bit of this on, you know, tools. You can use it on your knife, your saw, whatever you're carrying. Maybe you have an axe with you. Maybe you have a pistol or some kind of metal item, you know. You can use this as oil to prevent rust from occurring. Simple, that's what we, like our forefathers did. That's literally what, you know, natives did. I mean, it's just, it works extremely well for that. So I always have a good bit. As you see, this might be overkill, but I consider this a useful tool in many different regards. So that is why I carry it with me. Next, honey. Simple, awesome bump. Again, as in calories or a sugar rush, you're probably gonna go through a certain dietary change. If we are in a, you know, a major emergency situation, you're probably not gonna be eating the same foods that you're used to. And having a good sugar rush, in essence, not the whole thing, but you can use honey for that aspect. Now, also cuts and scrapes, they used to use honey in cuts and scrapes to help you. You know, it's antibacterial. It's a really amazing, you know, food, I guess you could say. Has a lot of extreme benefits to it. That's why I carry this little tiny bottle with me. Yes, it hardens over time, but you can just kind of heat it up and it'll kind of melt back to its original, you know, viscosity, and then you can put it on whatever you need to, sugar or anything like that. Next, water disinfectant, not purification or filtration. Filtration and purification are kind of different aspects, but disinfectant. Disinfectant is not filtering your water, but killing things in it, right? I can pull water from this pond and filter it, but there's a potential that viruses could still be living in that. I know there's arguments behind that, but you can use an item like this, which this is an H2Go Global in this little caddy that I have by Cana Provisions, and this converts salt into some type of chlorine disinfectant. And you can pour this in a canteen, a jug, it has different levels, and it kills all the bad stuff in water once you get it in a receptacle based on the level. So in a pinch, if I even had to, I could dunk water, like a container, in this water, and if I didn't even have a filter, it's just raw water, I could put a percentage of this chlorine, which already has it out for you, this little device, pour it in here, wait 4 hours, and drink it. Now, I know everything inside is going to be killed. It's still going to be in there, and you're going to be drinking it, but it's not going to harm you because all that stuff is just killed. Filtration is literally a barrier not allowing larger items through, but water can pass through. If you use them together, you have a much better odds of drinking good water that you will not get sick on. So this is kind of an expensive method. Purification tablets are very cheap, but this H2Go Global, I've done a dedicated video on this in the past. I'll just pull it out right here. It has different graduations and everything. It's solar powered too. It's an electronic device, but you can leave this out. It'll recharge on its own and it'll create that chlorine solution. So you pretty much have indefinite or unlimited drinking water with this, no matter what you pull from. Yes, there are other factors you need to worry about, heavy metals, pesticides, things like that. But in the moment, in an emergency situation, maybe a short-term duration, this can be hugely beneficial for extremely small. This will fit in your pocket. You can just use this as a go kit and be done with it. Lastly that I have here is salt. Simple salt. Now, of course, salt is going to work with this H2Go Global. You need salt to create that chlorine solution. But just in general, even if you didn't have that, salt is an extremely, awesome spice in essence to carry on you. Now, if you would procure an animal or something like that along your journey, you can salt it up. You can add this to food, right? You can add this to a little bit of water, get a little bit of electrolytes back. Not a whole bunch, of course. We don't want a major hardcore salt solution, but just in general, salt is extremely beneficial, and we need salt in our diet, right? Especially if you're going to be, living off of different type of food groups because it's an emergency situation. You may not get the same exact diet that you're used to. So salt in general, this is just a small packet. I actually carry a larger Ziploc with me as well, but you can salt things like meat or other, food groups or stuff like that. So these are just a few items. Yes, there are tons of other things that people forget, but if you guys like this kind of stuff, definitely like and subscribe. Give me a comment. Hey, what's another item that maybe I just didn't discuss, that you always carry with you for a good reason? I'd love to hear from you, right? Throw it in the comment section below. Like I said, there's plenty of other things, but in general, these are the items that I often see missing from kits. Now, I'm not saying you have to put these items in here. It's just a good thing to think about and decide for yourself if you should put these in here. Is it worth it for you? Of course, if you want any of these items, I'm going to link that in the description box below for it. It does help out the channel. Probably get some Amazon links. Yes, I get a few cents if you purchase a candle. Yes, it helps out. A few cents goes a long way that I can, purchase more items to share with you and do reviews with. So you're kind of like paying it forward and helping yourself because it doesn't cost you anything. It just automatically kind of goes to me, in essence, a few cents to help out the channel. So other than that, we have PayPal, Patreon, we have stickers and patches if you're interested. And of course, check out the description box below for the links. Other than that, I hope y'all have a great day.